Good morning if you're joining me on the live, good afternoon, good evening if you're doing this on replay. Well, we're going to do a section, as you can see, down the mats. How exciting. Nothing needed other than yourselves. This next 15 minutes is going to be all about the abs, okay? So a nice abdominal based workout. To begin with, I just want you coming, sitting comfortably, give your shoulders a little roll through. Good, maybe give your neck a little either side to side movement or a circle. Just trying to get rid of any tension that you might be holding there. And then you're going to bring your arms around to the left hand side. You're going to turn and face over your right shoulder. So that nice little diagonal stretch through the upper body. We'll release, we'll do the same on the opposite side. And then we're going to come and give this wrists a little circle. Good, and just a little flex back and forth as well, because we're going to be doing abs, we are going to be on all fours for a little bit. So let's just make sure that that's feeling nice. Good step. And then we're going to start from seated for our first set of movements. So no need to come down fully onto your mat just yet. I'm going to turn sideways on. I want you sitting up nice and tall, as if you were leaning against the wall, okay? So none of this. Really lengthen up that spine, kind of exaggerate pressing your chest forward and draw as if you're drawing your shoulder blades together at the back. That will help to keep the top half of your body upright rather than feeling the need to curl in. So nice and tall to begin with. We're going to take the arms out in front, palms are facing into each other, shoulders not up here but down here. And we're going to start in with a little roll back. You're rolling back just as far as feels good. These first few are really just about finding that mobility. So finding that mobility, especially through the base of your spine. So think about pulling that belly button in, and you almost want to curve the base of your spine, making a C shape. Good. Coming back to that nice upright, exaggerated chest push, squeezed shoulder blade position. Now if you're feeling good with these, you can start to take them a little bit lower back or further down, if that feels good for you. If it doesn't, just stay with the range of movement that's right. You want to try and keep those heels pinned to the floor the whole time. So if you feel that you need to lift your heels up, don't take it back quite as far. I want you to be in control here. And then finally, maybe you can come all the way down. If you can, you could bring the arms up, overhead, full body stretch, release again, keeping the heels pinned to the floor, and maybe this time you want to take it slightly further forward. If you're staying upright, you could come to the range you were working with, but then you could get that nice big lean through in. So just start moving through, feeling that stretch. We're warming up through the spine as well as through the abdominals. Good, don't forget to come to your breathing. Exhale on your way up, inhale on your way back. On this next one, when you come forward, I want you to take it into a forwards fold, so straighten out those legs if you need to, and reach down towards your shins or your toes. You can flex your feet, get that really nice stretch along your back, along your back of your legs as well. And then we're going to release, we're going to come back up to sitting, so draw the knees in, heels flat on the floor. Same starting position, so shoulders released, palms facing in. We're going to take it into our bow and arrow. Option here, just as with those C curls, to come back to the distance that feels right for you. Maybe you want to come all the way back, elbows are touching the mat. Maybe you want to stay more upright and just get that twist in. Good. So you're just alternating through sides. You're trying to make these movements as smooth as possible. So not a sudden judder or a stop-start. It's just a nice flowing sequence. If you want a little bit more of a challenge here, you're going to lift the opposite heel to the elbow that's dropping back. Got it? I'm just imagining the furrowed brows of concentration as we figure out which is our opposite. You don't have to add these heel lifts in. I'm just throwing out some options for you. Good, keep going here. So we've got that nice rotation. We're working into the weight. One more each side. And again, when you're done, send your legs long, reach down, stretch out. Or if you're more comfortable here and you just want to draw your knees into the chest and round through the top of your shoulders, you could do that one too. Depends where you feel the need for a stretch. Good, release it, nice and tall, roll those shoulders back. From here we're going to come into our V-sit, guys. Again, I always say this one, if you're comfortable with your V-sit, get into it, otherwise I'll run through the different progressions. Option one, with the hands of support, you're going to lift away one leg, lift away two legs, knowing that you can come down whenever you need. You could take away a hand, you could take away both hands. Or you feel comfortable, you've been doing this a while, you could fully extend your legs. Again, chest is open, we're not curling into ourselves. Chest is open, squeeze those shoulder blades at the back. Breathe through. Good stuff. How are you doing? Come down whenever you need to. You can always stretch it out to reset. Press off again. Or you can alternate. Give yourself a bit more support. Otherwise we're holding 3, 2, and 1. Hinge forwards, back into your stretch. Or you're letting it heel up. From here we're going to come down onto our backs, okay? So you can either use your hands and slide yourself down, or just like we did with move number 1, you could come into a roll down. We're coming into a full body stretch, so let's lengthen out that spine. How nice does that feel? After that movement, that rocking back and forth. I want you to keep your arms overhead, but walk your heels in towards your bottom. Good, and then from here, see if you can do a few little pelvic tilts. It's harder with the arms overhead. I want you to feel the stretch. So just tilting that pelvis, rocking it up towards your rib cage, and then pressing it away. Now take your arms back down by your side, you'll get a bit more range of movement here. Good, stopping somewhere in the middle, wherever feels neutral to you. We're going to take both arms up to the ceiling now, so fingertips are facing up to the ceiling. Option to keep one foot on the floor if you need a bit more stability and support for your lower back, otherwise coming up into tabletop. We're going to release opposite arm and opposite leg and come back into centre. Then we're going to do the same on the opposite side. If you're doing one leg on the floor, obviously just stick with that single side. The other arm stays facing up to the ceiling the whole time, so that doesn't move. Opposite arm, opposite leg drop, and the fingertips stay up to the ceiling. Have you got it? Good. If it needs a little bit less intensity, you do this with a bent elbow. If you want to go for a little bit more intensity, you do this with straight arm, straight leg. Good. Keep going here for 2 and 1. Bring those knees in, have a little hug, and then rock through. We're going to do that set again. So if you were doing a single leg on the floor, obviously now I want you to switch position. If you were in tabletop, resume your positioning. Make sure that those knees are over the hips. And then again, coming in, alternate arms, alternate legs. Good. Breathe through. Exhale as you take those arms and legs away from your body. Inhale as you bring them back together. Good, how's that feeling? If it's pulling on that lower back, take the intensity down a notch. 1 foot on the floor, or bent elbows, bent knees. We've got 3, 2, 1. Again, bring your knees in, have a little squeeze through. Things are waking up. We're feeling them. Good, release the feet back down to the floor. Just check that they're close enough to your bottom that you can just about raise them with your fingertips. And then again, a couple of little pelvic tilts. Refind that neutral spine. We're going to move into the top part of our abdominals here. So relax your arms down by your side. I want you to take an exhale, lift the shoulders. You should be looking directly between your knees here. drawing down into the mat. So that lower back is now imprinted down into the mat. Arms come out in front, or if you prefer a little support for your neck, make a little hammock. We're just going to come into little shoulder curls here. So not a sit-up, just concentrating in. If you bring your hands to the top of your abdominals here, you will feel that little squeeze. I don't want to come too high up, okay? A, because sit-ups aren't particularly spine friendly. They're also not particularly pelvic floor friendly because we're pushing down the further we come up into that pelvic floor. So instead, let's concentrate just on zoning in on the top half of our abdominals here. Put your hands, can you feel it? Woo! Hello, abs. Good, keep going. If you've got your hands as a little support here, make sure that you're not forcing your neck forwards. This is almost just like a little hammock for your head. Good. We're going to keep going with these, but instead of coming straight up, we're going to take them off at an angle. So as if you're trying to get your chest and your knee in alignment. Okay, again, you're not bringing them together, we're just going off to the side. It's your chest that comes across rather than just your shoulder, because this isn't really altering the angle if we just do this with our arms. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Good. How's it feeling? We don't often zone in just on this part, but sometimes it's nice to separate out things a little bit. Got one more each side. One and one. From here, take it into either your full body stretch or your curl up. Do you want to be small or long? You decide. Ooh. Amazing stuff. We're going to change positions again. We're going to roll over onto our sides this time and into a side plank. So think about where you need to be for your side plank. Either elbow and knee, up and hold, or elbow and legs, up and hold, or wrist and legs, up and hold. Option to always stagger your feet, okay, if you need to. Also just sets the pelvis a little bit more in alignment, so it's definitely not a cheat. Good. Breathing through. We've got 3, 2, 1. Release down. If you need to come up and give that shoulder a little roll through, do, because staying on this side for one more. We're coming into that over torso crunch. You can do this with hips resting on the floor and coming into your squeeze this way, remembering that your extension is as important as your squeeze, or you can come up from your kneeling side plank into your squeeze, or from your long side plank into your squeeze. Good. Woo. Beautiful, guys. Keep it going for me. If you're up, try and keep those hips lifted. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Again, come and give that shoulder a roll through. And then we're going to switch and do exactly the same on the opposite side. So that side plank hold to begin with, wherever is right for you. Remember to bring the arm just back slightly, open up the chest. You should feel that chest stretch. Lift your waist away from the mat, so we're not trying to sink. Good. Readjusting, coming down if you need to, resetting. 2 and 1. Release, give your shoulder a roll. And then coming in with that crunch. Option to keep those hips down to the floor. Squeeze and extend. The extension, you're getting that lengthening through the ribs. Squeeze your way into the waist. You feel it? I want you to really feel what we're doing. Good. Or press yourself up. Kneeling side plank or long. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1 more for me, and 1. Up, roll the shoulder. We're doing great. Okay, we're going to come into a little finisher, a little plank finisher. I want you to flip yourself around to all fours, and we're going to do a little series of planks that are going to flow together. Lucky you! I'm excited about it. I don't know if you are. Okay, plank number one is just whatever plank you normally do, okay? So your normal forward-facing plank, whether that's on an elevated surface, whether it's from three-quarter knees, you know the score, whatever you can be. Good. We're going to hold this, feeling secure through the abdominals. Obviously you might feel this a little bit in the shoulders after those side planks. And then from here we're going to take it straight into a plank pike. So that's where we come up into a down dog and we reach opposite hand to opposite toe. So if we're up high, this is what it looks like. Coming back to plank each time, and then up and across. If you're normally three-quarter plank, this is what it looks like. Your three-quarter plank, flex your toes, you come up, you drop down, back into your three-quarter plank. You press up, down, back into your three-quarter plank. Harder if you're on your elbows, so you might need to come up a little bit more staggered with those. Good, keep going here. Perfect. 3, 2, and 1. Final one. Come back into a plank hold just to readjust. We're going to add in a hip dip. I'll show you from kneeling first, or three-quarters. We roll the hips to the side, back to centre, roll the hips to the side. This works from elbows, roll the hips to the side, back to centre, and up. If you're up high, it's less likely that you're going to come down all the way to the mat. So you can either stay high, or you could drop to your elbows here if you want to get that kissing to the mat effect. Good. Woo! Feel it? Yes. Hello, abs. Keep going for me. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. I want you to come into child's pose. Okay, that was an intense finisher. I hope you took it and adapted it to work for you. Let's all stretch together. Good. Exhale up, all fours. Cat cows. If your wrists need a little break here, feel free to do these from fists. This should feel really, really lovely on that spine. Good, press back to child's pose once more. Breathe through. Back to all fours. We're going to come into our thread of the needle. Good. Feel this across the back of your shoulders. Same on the other side. One more time, back to child's pose. And guys, if you can stay here for a little bit longer, then absolutely do. Otherwise, if you want to make your way back up to sitting or kneeling, you could just give your shoulders a little roll through your neck, a little side to side or rotation, and then your wrists. Loosen everything off, no rush at all to get up. Let me know though how you feel, and I'll see you all on the next one. Thanks for joining me.